Hello, and welcome to Thoughts from the Bubble. I'm your host, Kiera, and welcome to my podcast. This podcast is going to be so random because I'm just such a random person. I have a lot of thoughts, and I live in a bubble. So I invite whoever is listening into my personal bubble where I will talk about random things that are in my thoughts. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing this podcast. Um, it's just recently, I don't know, I've just been feeling a change, just feeling like I need a change. And I feel like God is pushing me to something greater. But here's the thing, I don't know what that greater is. I have no clue what I'm doing. I, had this life envisioned. And as I'm reaching these goals and accolades, I'm not fulfilled. I'm looking around and not being happy with the things that I'm currently doing or how I'm currently living. And I don't know, probably about a week ago, I just woke up with my eyes opened. And I know it probably sounds weird, but it's just something you can't even explain. It feels like I just woke up one day and I'm choosing myself. I'm actually choosing what I like to do and not what I think I should like to do, if that makes sense. Again, this podcast is going to be very random. I just feel it on my spirit that God is pushing me to, one, speak my truth, and another thing, open up, because I feel like I've been so closed off to people for years. It's hard for me to connect, and that's not how life should be. Like, you shouldn't have a hard time connecting to people. And I feel like it's not other people, it's me. So I invite you to join me on my journey as I maneuver through this thing called life. And hopefully you're maneuvering through life with me. And one of the things that's been on my mind, and that's a thought that I want to talk about in the bubble today, um, is just like the journey into womanhood. Like, this shit is hard. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in November, and I don't know. I just remember being younger and saying, "Oh, when I'm 28 and 29, my life will look like this," and it doesn't. It doesn't look like it at all. And I don't know why I'm struggling with that, struggling with coming into my womanhood. I don't know. That probably sounds super strange, and hopefully I'm not the only one in the world that is feeling like that. Like, I feel like I have to redefine what my womanhood looks like. I can't emulate anyone else. I can't look to anyone else like, oh, they're doing this, let me do this. Like, no, I have to become Kiera, who I am. And I feel like I've been emulating others so long that I've kind of I don't know who I am. Well, let me first. I do know who I am. I just was afraid of being my true self. Here's the thing, like, there's no other me in this world. There's no other you in this world. Like, we have to learn to be comfortable with ourselves. We have to learn to be proud of our strengths and also proud of our weaknesses, because we're all imperfect people. I don't care who you look at. Again, my eyes are open. I don't care who you look at. They're struggling with something. We just can't see it. And I feel like a lot of times people will put on this portrayal of being strong. And I mean people, I mean myself. Put on this portrayal of being strong. Like, I've always prided myself that, oh, I'm the strong friend and I'm this and I'm that and I don't need any help. And it's like, I do. I need all the help I can fucking get, honestly. Like I do. I need all the help that I can get. But yeah, my journey into womanhood is crazy, and it's funny that I've had this like awakening, like right before I turn 29, right before you hit 30. Like they always say, like a light bulb comes off when you turn 30. I just feel like I just hit mine a little bit earlier. But yeah, I'm woke. Is that what the kids are saying? I'm woke. I wonder if like older generations like felt this. Like I look to like my mom, and I wonder if she felt this. Like she was a young parent, so she probably did feel this, but she couldn't act on it. And that's one of the things that I had an eye opening moment about is like I ain't got no kids. I don't have nothing tying me that's forcing me to be this way. Like I can wake up one day and change. I can wake up one day and dress different. I can wake up one day do my hair different. Like and that's okay. Even if you have kids, I feel like you can do that. Like we're not limited to our current reality. And that was the most eye-opening thing is like if I want something, I just go get it. Like it's not that hard. Like just go get it. Even like with work and my goals with work, like I don't want to do that anymore. And that's so scary to say that I don't want this. I don't want to wake up every morning and drive to work and be so happy in the car. I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm everything. And then I pull up in the parking lot at work and I'm like, ugh, I gotta go in this place. Like I don't have to keep doing this. Well, actually, I do because bills. But no, I can do something different. Hence, why I'm here with this podcast. I don't know why God put it on my heart to speak. Even if this doesn't reach anyone, I feel like it's going to be therapy for me to just talk to whoever is listening, to whoever who's not listening. It's just to talk and to get it off of me so that I can become the woman that I want to be. And it's crazy. I was thinking, I was actually talking to someone just about how different generations view different things. I actually work in HR. So we're doing a focus group on like Gen Z and how they're navigating the workplace and all this kind of stuff, which I love. I can't stress enough how much I love how the Gen Z generation is so free. I feel like baby millennials, we were on the cusp of that, but we still have like our parents' views on like work and pushing through, whereas Gen Z is like, fuck that. No. I don't want to be confined in this corporate culture for the rest of my fucking life. I don't want that. And I'm like, yes. And they're challenging people as we see with the workforce, and they're not willing to put up with certain shit that hey, us millennials and the boomers and the Gen X's were that we're putting up with. They're changing the way they see themselves. They're changing the way employees are viewing employers, and I love it. They employees have all the power. So if you're listening to this and your job is on some bullshit, just know you have all the power. Just just know you do. Don't ever think or be fearful of a company of anything. You're a business yourself. When a business knows that an employee or a customer is not supporting them or not doing what they want them to do, guess what they do? They cut off the relationship by either terminating your employment or terminating a customer's contract. That's what they do. And I think it's time for people to start doing the same. Like I'm in HR, I'm not for the company, I'm for whoever is right in the situation. And a lot of times it's the employees, but companies they don't want to bend, don't want to do any of that. So just know that you have all the power. I was a little upset yesterday. I met with a VP, and he wanted to throw out that some employees aren't good employees because they don't want to work overtime. And this is when I knew, I'm like, ooh, I gotta do something different, because that pissed me off. This is a 60-year-old old white man, right? And people don't want to work overtime. Hell, I don't want to work overtime, and I don't work overtime unless I absolutely have to, and then I'm doing the bare fucking minimum. Honestly, that's honestly what it is, But he felt that a team of workers, weren't working overtime, weren't pushing out product, and he's like, well, we need new resources, we need new people. Then they're not team players, and it's like, those people bust their ass for 8 hours a day. What more can you want? Like, these people have kids, they have lives. Hell, nobody wants to be at work for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. Nobody wants that. Hell, who does? Unless you absolutely love your job. And there are people out there that absolutely love to do that. I don't. And there are a lot of people who don't. Like, I grew up with my mom kind of putting work first. She's a single parent raising me by herself. So of course she had to put work first. Of course she had to, you know, go to work when she didn't want to, do the mandatory overtime that they're forcing her to do, because hey, she didn't want to lose her job, and I understand that. So you do have people like that. But I'm always going to advocate for those kids, because I was the kid whose parent wasn't at the basketball games. I was the kid whose parent wasn't in the crowd cheering me on when I did orchestra. I was that kid, and that's so depressing. And so I can't get behind the whole, oh, they're not good employees because they don't want to bust their fucking back and break their necks for this company. No, who they should be breaking their backs for is their kids, their families. So these companies are going to have to do a way better job of having work-life balance. That's important. I shouldn't give 12 hours to a company, make them millions of dollars, and then go home and give my kids 2 hours. That's not fair. That's not fair. You know? And another thing, one of the thoughts that I had is, I saw a TikTok about a man who was very, 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 very upset. I guess his company was closing, and I could be wrong on this. I guess his company was closing. He had worked at a factory for 30 years, and the company was closing. And I guess due to the company closing, I guess it was due to going bankrupt or whatever, they were forfeiting all pensions. Now, this man had worked here for 30 years. He looks an older black man, so I'm assuming he's close to retiring. Hey, if you work somewhere 30 years, you better be close to retiring. And his pension is gone. He's left with nothing. Like, are you fucking kidding? I put back breaking work in for 30 years, and I'm left with nothing? That's heartbreaking. That is so heartbreaking. My heart went out to that man, because that shit happens. These companies don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, from a person who works in HR, they don't give a fuck. So my advice to anyone who is working for corporate America, if you're working for McDonald's, who cares? Wherever you work, look in your handbook, see what freebies y'all got. Take advantage of those freebies. If they got tuition reimbursement, take your ass back to school. Use these people how they're using you. Finesse the system. But don't put your all into a job. Don't put your all into a company, because guess what? When it's no longer benefiting them, you are disposable. We are all replaceable. That's it. So, hopefully you all enjoyed my rant and the thoughts that are going in my head. I am doing this podcast as just a creative outlet, because I feel like I need it. I need to release this, and I don't have a village. I do have a village, but I don't have a village, if that makes sense. I feel like I can't be my true self with my village, because it gets diminished or downplayed. So hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully this sparked a conversation for you. And the best piece of advice I can give you is, do what makes you happy. Don't be afraid to Start a podcast. Start that YouTube channel. Hell, go back to school. Like, whatever it is that you want to do it. Because no one's living your life but you.